Okay, so nobody's getting the truth from the mainstream media, folks. It's well past time to open your eyes, your ears, and your mind. Do your own research because something isn't right here. And if you can't see that, you are not paying attention, folks.
It's the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order. A world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.
So let's look at each one of these and see how we can get this down to zero. Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to zero. Now that's back from high school algebra, but let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
The important message that we need Australians to get vaccinated as quickly as possible. In line with that, I do encourage all Australians to please go and book your vaccinations as soon as you can if you haven't already done so.
Emma, get away!
When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
Okay, we need to stand up against this tyranny, folks. Stop giving away your freedoms and liberties, because the more you give up, the more these people will take until you have absolutely nothing left. That's their agenda.
All right, good evening, folks. How you going, family? Well, been a little bit happening over the weekend, overseas and in other places. A lot of podcasters coming out with this, that, and the other. So it's ramping up, guys. We got Trump working in McDonald's. It's what a movie. Anyway, it's not a movie because it's actually serious, but obviously there is some stuff floating around out there that's very thank you. I got the best wife in the world, guys. I mean that. Sucked in all you guys. Anyway, so it's on already, guys. The early voting just started. The claims of serious election fraud are already circulating. The rig is in. Well, I think they're gonna make it too big to rig. That's the idea. But this time they can't hide. It's a very different situation now compared to 2020. Anyway, we'll see what happens. There's some very interesting stuff coming out. I think we'll put on tomorrow night, guys. But just about what the Pfizer patents and stuff like that. So Michigan, we've already seen that they discovered they've got 500 more registered voters than there are people old enough to vote. So, it's going to be fun and games for the next couple of weeks over there, guys. It really is. So what do we got going on around our traps? Okay. So now we've got, and they're saying fears the backpackers' working holiday visa changes could cripple regional business. Well, if the mainstream ABC is being told to put out this, well, then don't fear it. It will be happening, guys. They will start to change things around because they're just getting quicker and quicker of what they are doing in actually shutting down our businesses and our commerce and pushing this digital ID. So, the next few weeks are very, very interesting, guys. Now, I don't know whether Hoodie knew this bloke, but if you did, condolences. Sorry, Graham, but this young pilot, guys, all right? And it says Harrison Alchin, a pilot with regional arm of Qantas, died on October the 13th. GoFundMe sent me. The gravity of the loss of our mate will be felt throughout the community and beyond. The loss of Harry was very sudden and unexpected, and his family are now trying to navigate through this process while dealing with their grief. But nobody can see the elephant in the room, guys. Sorry to hear that. Okay, we got Trump, as I said, in a McDonald's, great scene of the movie there, I think, absolutely unreal. Now, the University of Canberra cut 200 jobs. We did mention this a little while ago, that the universities was cutting jobs, but 200 jobs as part of urgent and significant cost-saving measures. Well, I would ask again, why are we funding Ukraine's war? If we've got to cut staff from our university, but we can fund the war in Ukraine. The hypocrisy, guys, is never ending. Never ending. All right, Lydia Thorpe going off ahead. Screaming out at King Charles like a lunatic. Probably what we expect from Lydia. But yeah, so there's a little bit. Cazz has done a really good little piece of it we're going to put on tonight. Actually, just looking at what's happened with Prince Charles doing his stuff and being over here at the Souls place and anyway, we were talking to Nicola. Charles, me and Cazz the other night, and Mel, and we were all having a chat about what all this could mean. So very interesting times, guys. Now, worrying medical condition will affect 740 million young people by 2050. Well, by 2050, your game plan would be to have us all locked up in digital cities, and you'll be giving us the diseases.
I think they're playing with your string.
Playing with my stream, are they?
Cazz, what does he sound like?
It doesn't matter. Anyway, come in, Cazz. You right?
Yeah.
How are you?
You're good, but you're really digitised.
Yeah.
I think they're going to knock you out.
Well, no. You can't find the show. I talk to people, where we were away on the 3 days down in Melbourne, it was funny when I got down there, people knew who I was, and, some of them watched the show, some of them couldn't find the show, so again, it's a remarkable, just how censored we sort of are out there, guys. So again, keep sharing it around for us. All right, help us get it out there. All right, because obviously we're putting out news that is relevant and makes sense. And guess what? That's what they don't like, because even Sleepy Joe, could watch our show and go, "Oh, they're actually got it right," So what do you reckon, Cazz?
We do have something on Sleepy Joe later on. Yeah, Jim Brewer asked a very, very pertinent question. But look, let's get it out. We're always asking for people for local content. And I don't always, people send it to me, but I don't always get it for the news. But anyway, I'm just going to play a bit of this. And thank you. Big shout out to Doug, because you are now officially a digital soldier, because you're scrutinising the mainstream media and you are finding out that they are not telling the truth, and you're reporting on it.
With the Australian flag draped around his neck down to here, and it says his mishaps didn't end there. Just as the Spaniard was about to take off for a victory lap, with the Australian flag draped around his neck, he spun his bike into the ground and had to stop and pick it up while letting everyone know it was okay. And that's, talk about misinformation.
We'll just play a bit of that because we've got a lot of news, but thank you for that. And keep going and please keep sending it to me. Now, another person who's done
good
some
old
local
mainstream
content,
telling us anything they want us to believe. Yeah.
Exactly. And shout out to Chick Fenton for this report.
Beautiful day in Albury. Forest of the Fallen set up. Victims of the C-19 vaccine. Their families, the stories, the deaths.
Good work, chick.
We'll stop it there. But yeah, excellent. Thank you for that.
Everybody that's out there doing it, guys, I'm telling you, it is just, we'll be doing one Saturday, Don, coming up.
Craig did one on Saturday.
Craig did one on Saturday down here. We'll be doing another one next Saturday with Craig. But, guys, what a way. I'll tell you, there's a lot of people going, they see that forest, especially where, if you get them in a prominent place where, people have to walk past them, and you, I'll tell you, and just sit back and watch the reactions, guys. It's unbelievable to watch the human psychic, you know what I mean, of the people maybe who have, taken this inoculation. But anyway, we're there to talk to them all and to wake them up. That's all we're here to do. And then from there, with the conversation, we can help them maybe help themselves, which is what humanity and this whole thing's about, guys, good versus evil, So as much as they're frustrating us because they won't wake up, as they do, we just got to, be nice. Be nice.
It. All right. InfoWars reporter has done an article here, and what is actually discovered after going through all of the documents is that nearly 1.49% of respondents reported hospitalisation after COVID-19, whereas 5.69% of the respondents reported hospitalisation after the vaccination. So incredible. The headline reads, hospitals treated far more people for COVID shot side effects than unvaccinated patients for COVID infections. So, which, we could have guessed, but... So, and it also
where do you get all this ludicrous information from, Cazz? I mean, if I was to read the paper or the television or watch the television, I would get totally opposite to what you're saying. You know that?
Well, there's even more because the turbo cancer. So Chris Hyde's wife, it's heartbreaking forward response as they both diagnosed with incurable illness. Now, the quotes from their social media: "Don't get left behind. Get vaccinated. If it says just one life, get double jabbed. Protect yourselves and others."
Mate, the psyop was just unbelievable, wasn't it? And now we're seeing the ramifications, guys. And as we say, this is only going to get worse and worse as this goes on. We got some interesting stuff on actually that tomorrow night. We got a good little clip, just a 1.5-minute clip on that. And, also a couple other things that, these guys are, putting out patents for this and patents for that, guys, and, they can't get away with it anymore. You know what I mean? We just got too many people out there that are too good at researchers. This little patriot movement of ours, what do we call ourselves? Internet, I don't know, whatever we are. You know what I mean? But we just got them covered, mate. They can't move. Every time, somebody just digs something up, it hits Twitter, and next minute, poof, it's off. It's unreal.
Well, just on the vaccine as well, I'll just finish up with this one. So, basically a major peer-reviewed study has revealed that people who receive their vaccines have significantly reduced their life expectancy. Now, that's actually been led by an Italian researcher, Professor Marco Alessandria of the University of Turin.
Well, we know, as I said, the turbo cancers are just going ballistic, guys. Unbelievable.
All right, we had an unusual situation happen, and it wasn't Lydia Thorpe. We had an unusual situation happen on a Sunday yesterday, and I'll just play you part of it. Have a look and have a listen to this.
We celebrate on this special occasion are fundamental to the democracies that serve today's diverse societies, and are even more vital given the ever-changing natural, social, economic, and technological environment. Since I was here in 1974, and incidentally I first came to Australia nearly 60 years ago, which is slightly worrying, this place and the people within it have continued to uphold strong representative traditions. To everyone who has been a part of this, I can only offer my warmest congratulations. And in the spirit of marking the passage of time, it is my great pleasure to present a small gift to the Parliament. It is, in fact, an hourglass, a speech timer, to sit in the chamber and bear witness to the Legislative Council's next chapter. So with the sands of time encouraging brevity, it just remains for me to say what a great joy it is to come to Australia for the first time as sovereign, and to renew a love of this country and its people, which...
Right. Whee!
Oh, Cazz is gone.
Okay, Cazz just got dumped. That's incredible, actually. Because what she's got spooled up next. How is that? How does this work? How does that work? They must have known what you've got spooled up next, Cazz. This is hot, mate. You have done a brilliant job on this little article you're about to put out there. So please retrieve it.
Yeah,
Do
no,
I need to hold you up while you retrieve it?
I didn't even have any technical issues. It just bumped me completely. How weird is that? All right, so
Right,
now
take the show, Cazz. Go for it.
all right, so guys, so it was really unusual because he presented them with an hourglass. Not only that, what he did was he turned it upside down. So that technically means, or traditionally means, running out of time. Let's have a look at this. The second paragraph of this one, or his final paragraph, he said, with the sense of time encouraging brevity, it just remains for me to say what a great joy it is to come to Australia for the first time as sovereign, and to renew a love of this country and its people, which I have cherished for so long. He's just declared himself sovereign. Well, in my opinion, that's what I'm thinking as well. Okay.
What it sounds like, yes.
Yeah. Now, this is notice the date. Yesterday was the 19th of October. Well, it was the 19th of October in 1973 that Queen Elizabeth autographed her, or basically put her initials up the top, and told Gough Whitlam and said to him, you have to run this by the people. If the people are okay with this, then, go ahead. You must take it to the people for referendum, which he never did. Okay, so he just basically did his Australia Act and all of that sort of stuff. So it was very unusual. Now, if we look at what happened 4 or 5 days ago, you've got this situation where Dan Scavino put out the hourglass. Okay, very unusual, or maybe not so unusual, but I just found it a bit odd. And then you have this situation here. Now, I did a bit of hunting around. I found Trader Girl, who does some really good Q post breakdowns, and she was talking about the hourglass and the relationship with the WikiLeaks. So I'm kind of two minds, but it was just unusual. And this is not solely my work, by the way. This is hunting around. A number of people have contributed to this. Now, somebody suggested it could be, why was it done yesterday? Could it be the time thing? So I started looking into that. Here's where it gets really interesting. So I found this act here, and this is from Queensland. It's the Acts Interpretation Act. But this is the paragraph that interested me, or the section that interested me. It says, however, within 1 year of the assent day, a regulation may extend the period before commencement under subsection, and not more than 2 years of the assent day. So now, I find it very unusual that it's exactly 51 years apart. So those
Same
two things
day.
exactly. Yes, and remember
Sunday.
it was Sunday. Yeah, you go ahead. And Margaret Thatcher was the day she rammed that through.
So what does it mean, people?
Well, and the other thing that I found rather interesting about it as well was the where was it? So I'm wondering if this is not a white hat operation to reinstate the sovereignty of the king, and if so, then that means that the Constitution's legitimate again. So we can actually start holding these people accountable, because it's the 1973. It's been since 1973 that the Constitution has been changed, really, but there has been no official government or styles and titles. Oh, and that was the other thing too. The White Rabbit reported that 2 or 3 days ago, King Charles had gone to the Styles and Titles, gone to Styles and Titles office.
office.
So now my
Very
other thought on the
interesting.
matter. Yeah.
Mm.
Now my other thought is I'm wondering if the hourglass is not a symbol of WikiLeaks, is put them on notice, and WikiLeaks is going to start leaking all of the Exposure 28, the Woods Rock Commission, and all of the suppressed documents. So I'm kind of two minds about it, or maybe it could actually be both. I don't know. You got any thoughts on it?
Yeah, but yeah, multitude more thoughts now you've done that. But yeah, I'd like to try and process them actually. But yeah, that's look, nothing's a coincidence, that's for sure.
No, it's
All
not.
these things, and their downfall will be their symbolism. You know what I mean? So again, we're seeing all these symbols used against them now to actually put bits together. Is what I'm feeling straight off the cuff, Caz. Yeah, is that all these things are set up? You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, and
That's
this
why
is the other thing.
That's why we had Prince Charles or King Charles or whoever you want to frigging call him, Charlie, Chucky. All right, that's why we had him on the show. Someone said, "What would you even put the royals?" Well, that's why, guys. We're trying to show you the, the processes in which have gone on. You know what I mean? That could just give us, one of you people out there might have a light bulb go off and go, "Wow, that means." So yeah, that's what we want to know.
Well, and this is what we want, because if we're wrong, we want to be corrected. And also, if you guys find something and you bring it to us, then please let us know. Now, the other thing that I was thinking is it comes on the heels of this. So what's happened is there's the federal class action lawsuit filed against Biden, Harris, and Pfizer and Moderna. So it demands an end to the COVID-19 vaccines, chemtrails, and 5G. So what I'm thinking is if we can actually restore the constitutional law and regardless of what you think of that, I'm at heart a Republican. But here's the thing is that I've been forced to be a monarchist because I don't want the kind of republic. I don't trust the people in charge to give us the kind of republic that is good for us.
Yeah, exactly. So, it'll be the Republic of the New World Order. You're exactly right.
That's right. Yeah, no.
So yeah, the devil you know is better than the devil you don't, is what Caz is saying there, So maybe, these pieces are fitting together that, we may be getting something back here, guys. It's very, very interesting and very confusing. And it's been a long time with many twists, many turns, and now it's twists, turns, it's like a Big Dipper, man. There's just stuff happening and you're trying to work out what's going on. And there's so many different fields of this all around the world in different areas. We'll look at, I think tomorrow night, maybe look at it. I don't know if it's in tonight, but anyway, as you know, guys, we just load stuff up and it just comes in. But just all the floods around the world, that are going on at the moment. It's just it's biblical, guys. It is on. It is a fight between good and evil. You need to pick your side and get motivated, which I know all of yours obviously are. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. So what I thought I might just bring in Glenn Fisher because, just reminding everyone that this is absolutely rampant throughout our government and judiciary. So as well, this is what I'm thinking. I'm leaning towards maybe WikiLeaks. Maybe it's leaning towards WikiLeaks is going to actually start revealing stuff and dropping the evidence. So let's have a look. Oh, I can't. Hang on. Okay, we're having a few more issues here. How unusual.
Come on.
How unusual. Okay, no, it doesn't appear I can actually.
So, guys, there's a space tomorrow at 12 p.m., right? Australian time. We're going to be talking about the correlation of, MK Ultra, satanic ritual abuse, and a few other things with a great special guest. All right. So that's midday tomorrow. The link's out there on Twitter, guys. You'll find it out there somewhere. I'll re-put it on my Twitter link tonight. But, going to be a great space, guys. I'd advise you to share it out, get in there and, learn a bit of the deep down stuff from, a lady who's been involved with it or was a victim of it all. She's not a victim anymore because she's took it back. And when you hear her, some of you may have already heard her, but if you haven't, come and listen to Casey talk. Tell us how it all went down.
All right. So Glenn Fisher. Yeah.
I understand that someone needs to speak up, but why does it need to be you? And what I think about that is that the whole world, there are so many people in this world who are fucking remaining silent who are too scared to speak up. But I think to myself, I have to speak up, man, because if I don't speak up, I'm doing a disservice to every child on the streets of King's Cross, every child in an institution that's been abused by people in positions of power. There are people in positions of power all over the fucking world. And we all know it's fact. I'm fucking talking shit. This is fucking fact. All over the world. People trafficking people over the world. There are children right now being held against their will. There are children right now being abused by people who are supposed to be people loving them and looking after them.
So, yeah,
He's a great guy. He's a great guy,
yeah.
Glenn Fisher.
Yeah, what just a horrible
Help him out,
story.
guys. Donate to him if you can. I know he's
Buy his book.
do something just to help the guy out, man, because he is an absolute legend. He, from what he's been through, and what he's done, you know what I mean? He's also got suppression orders on the 20 odd that he named, 22 or whatever. So again, these people are just, they're the heroes, man. Glenn Fisher is an absolute hero in my eyes. Absolute. Anyway.
All right, let's have a look at this because we've got Tommy Robinson and he is back in the UK.
Tommy.
To re-enter the UK. The fight may start now. Yeah, maybe a fight to free me straight away. I want to get out on bail. But listen, what I want to get very clear to everyone. I made this decision. It's my decision. Something I've struggled with for the last few weeks to think about what I'm going to put my kids through, how long I'm going to be gone for. Am I right in what I'm doing? And I am right. I made the decision. Right, mate, how are you? Absolute legend. Thank you, bro. Thank you very much. You are, and what video do it? Absolute legend. Thank you, bro. Thank you. So, I made this decision. So, if that judge puts me in jail, if they arrest me at court, know that I'm a very calculated person. I'm not an idiot. I planned every fucking second of it. Right? Why would I do that? Because what we're about to expose next week, it would have took me a lifetime of working every day to bring such a torch on the corrupt judiciary. Now, why is that important? Because you all witnessed after the 27th of July, you all got to see how dangerous a corrupt judiciary is, a weaponised judiciary. So the whole world needs to know it, they need to see it. And that's what's going to happen next week. So whilst it's terrible for me, it's going to be terrible for my children, I apologise again, kids. But for our cause, it's the best possible thing that could have happened.
Welcome back into the lion's den. They really want him.
Yeah, he's walked back in. So anyway, we'll see what happens there. And
yeah. All right, now I forgot to do this story before. Now, this is really unusual, a really interesting story. So this is Corriwell residents speak out in support of a white man fight back protesters, and they spoke the truth. But now it's really unusual because you've got a whole heap of National Socialists there. But when you actually go in and read the story, what's actually happened is there's a meatworks there, and they've sold it to an international lobby, and then what they're doing is they want to bring in foreign workers, which means that all of the locals that work there are going to be rendered unemployed. So it's a crazy story, but you can see how people are starting to be driven to these sort of extremist or radical kind of ideology, or anyway, but you can see why this is kind of happening. And and it's like they're just inflaming the situation. So, but as the person who wrote the article said, well, if they didn't do that, if those people didn't come up and actually do that and get the press involved in the outrage crew going, then no one would know about it. They would have just kept it it would have been kept very isolated in the community, as opposed to actually now it's spread around the internet because everyone's got the faux rage. So yeah.
No, it is. There's a lot of sects and factions out there that are, doing their own thing. Look, it's going to get more chaotic, guys. We still got to sift all these people out. Even if we do get, or when we do get Trump through, and we're watching all this stuff with Charlie. Are we getting our sovereignty back? It's not Charlie, I don't believe. But anyway, if Chucky's here and Chucky's here and he's here for a reason as part of a script. You know what I mean? Well, obviously there's a reason for him, and I don't think you give out hourglasses for nothing, you know, and turned it over and started the timer.
Yeah,
as
started
well.
the timer.
Now the Americans were telling me the other day, guys, that they were told that Charlie come over here without Camilla, if that's a name. Can't remember, but yeah, Camilla or something. Yeah, Camilla, whatever. Camilla DeVille. Anyway, but yeah, so apparently, yeah, he come out here on his own. Yet here we are. We got the only one thing we could sort of find was, him at the airport. But we saw that Camilla was on the airport as well. So, you know, who's seeing the green screens or who's getting told the crap? You know what I mean? You know, there's just different stuff going around. The mainstream media telling different stories again, guys. Usually they're very correlated, but yeah, I don't know what went on there, but they were telling us that they were told Charles come on his own, and we've seen Camilla in all the parliaments. You know, if you saw Lydia Thorpe go off, you know, Camilla or whatever she was sitting there. Camilla,
yeah, that's
there
right.
you go, Caramello, yeah.
Camilla.
Anyway,
yeah, actually, that person's just somebody, Mark Craig. Yes, I was going to bring
original Horseface. There you go. She's Horseface is the name. There you go. We've worked it out. There you go.
All right. So, Dr. Bay, the battle begins. We win. So he's Dr. Bay versing Oprah. So yeah, thanks for reminding me of that. I did forget it. So.
Everyone's got to just do their bit, guys. Right? We just got to take the system on. That's it.
All right, so I've just got to go and retrieve this because on account of they wiped my studio. All right, so we've got this situation here. Actually, what we'll do is we'll just bring the flies in. I think we're at 50. Let's do that one.
You good people that have got all these events on.
Upcoming
well done,
events.
guys.
If you're near one of these locations, we encourage you to get down there and show your support. First up, we've got Mondays at Maggie's from 11 a.m, Macquarie Street in Sydney at the Governor's House. Also at the National Rock Gardens every morning at 10 a.m. in Canberra for the Governor-Generals. And again at the Governor Gates every Saturday 10 a.m, this time at Melbourne. Then we've got a Forest of the Fallen every Saturday at Little Burley Markets in Canberra, 8 a.m. till 2 p.m. Monday to Friday daily prayer space at 3 p.m. with Melissa over on X. On Friday the 25th of October at 35 Poplar Road, Parkville, Victoria at 12 p.m, rally organised by Leave Our Kids Alone and Craig Cole, a Leave Our Youth Alone, Dan Andrews Must Go. On Thursday the 24th of October, an online community information night with Leave Our Kids Alone at 8 p.m. On 29th of October, starting from 9 a.m. at Burke Street, Melbourne, Charles Mackenzie from Infected Blood Australia is hosting a protest. Then on November 2nd and 3rd at 10 a.m. every state and in Canberra, Calling All Anzacs Operation Take Back Australia is underway. Then just in Canberra on the 2nd and 3rd of November, celebrate 1000 Epic Days at the GGs. Also on the 2nd of November, Saturday from 5:30 p.m. onwards at Adelaide Town Hall, call out for Protect Our Children's Innocence, Leave Our Kids Alone. On the 23rd and 24th of November, a Sheepyard Flat overnight camp in regards to Hands Off Our State Forest, convoy from Mansfield Old Railway Station car park at 10 a.m. Wow, there's so many campouts coming up. My Place Victoria Campout 2024, Friday, November 29th till Sunday, December 1st. That will be held in the township of Echuca. Get down there if you can. All the details can be found on the My Place Facebook page. On December 6th and the 8th, brought to you by Stand-in Park Albury, weekend-long Freedom Festival with free camping at the Edamoga Pub. There'll be kids' entertainment, there'll be market stalls, there'll be music entertainment, and heaps more. If you'd like to have a market stall or would like to busk, please get in contact with Chick Fenton. Sorry to sound like a broken record, but don't forget that October is Vaccine Injury Awareness Month. Get out there, do your Forest of the Fallens, be a voice for those who no longer have a voice. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Beck.
Thank you, Beck. That was awesome. All right, so let's get on to the international news because there's some really weird international news. Now, first of all, you've got the where is it?
You're not going to get
Sorry,
us shut down here, eh? There's nothing too freaky, no. Like tunnels
Well,
that turn up at Disneyland,
they've-
from none, and
No,
then
no.
no. With elevators
Alright,
in them,
so
into the change rooms in Disneyland. I mean,
No, the
whoever
horrible
ever
stuff
thought
first.
that was real?
Yeah, the horrible stuff first. So Canadian doctors reveal regret over euthanizing patients, but you got to check it out. They're euthanizing patients because they're poor or obese. It is unbelievable. 13th, okay, so 2022, 2023 projection is 15,280. It's actually at epidemic proportions, and these are people that are poor. Like, what happened to actually helping people out? It's just crazy.
Oh, yeah. Mate,
All right.
it's unbelievable. It is. Like, the hypocrisy of it all is just unbelievable.
All right, but we got some really good news as far as this goes. Let's have a listen to this.
Trump's legacy through 2029 eyes.
All right, this is from 2029 eyes. This is what's to come, guys, so you know.
Part 2. The Trump era, viewed from 2029, offers a reflective lens into a turbulent time in American history. Many opinions have evolved with clarity. Witnesses recount events chronologically, unraveling motivations behind actions that once seemed bewildering. Each decision was a piece of a bigger picture. Observers of that era emphasize Trump's fervent love for his country, often evident in his unyielding determination to reshape the nation. Despite controversies, his supporters argue that reclaiming national sovereignty was at the forefront of his agenda, pushing boundaries to achieve it. Trump's policies aim to redistribute power, shifting it from established institutions back to the American people, a vision that sparked both hope and discord. His presidency was marked by intense turmoil, yet some believe it was essential to reboot the American spirit and renew national pride. The era was a battleground of ideologies where supporters saw a savior, while opponents saw a disruptor challenging democratic norms. In 2029, historians and citizens alike continue to debate the outcomes, with greater clarity and the legacy of a president who left an indelible mark. Reflecting on the Trump era, the nation grapples with its past, realizing that a future where unity and sovereignty coexist harmoniously only happened because President Trump gave the power back to them. And now part 2. Enjoy the show.
Executive Order 13818, December 20th, 2017. By Executive Order 13818, the President declared a national emergency with respect to serious human rights abuse and corruption around the world, and pursuant to the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, which is 50 U.S. Code 1701, took related steps to deal with the unusual and extraordinary threat to the national security, foreign policy, and economy of the United States. A national emergency is a situation in which a government is empowered to perform action permitted. The National Emergencies Act implemented various legal requirements regarding emergencies declared by the President of the United States. Setting an executive order with a national emergency is a very big deal. This executive order was solely based at its core a means to stop the massive human rights violations around the world.
How is your life significant? And I say this because in today's society, we count wealth in numbers, in titles, in, success in titles, I guess, and the strength and how much power we hold over others. But see, none of those things matter. They really don't. They absolutely do not. And I say this with full conviction that the people of the future can't stand the people of today only because they were so daft, so cynical, so absorbed in things that really don't matter. Like if you were to die today, tell me the shit you served and dished, how it was important.
So,
Corey says, Yeah, so she's
Tori says, telling you how it is, guys. You know, like, what are you going to do today? You know, that the message in that to me was, what are you going to do? You know what I mean? If you die tomorrow, what have you done? All right, well, guess what? Might be dying on Friday, you know what I mean? So you got 4 days. Pull your finger out, get going, and make a difference. Be the change. We are the climate change, guys. Be the change, right? Be the change that you want to see. All right, and we're doing it. All right, we've come a long way. I'm very impressed. I think it's you know, what we're up against is the devil himself, guys, and we've smashed it. We really have, you know. So, you know, all these executive orders and that was sat in. How this game's going to play out, don't ask me. All right, I'm going to hear to tell you the news show. Let's get on Spaces and talk about crazy stuff. All right, or what could be going on, or what could not be going on. All right, but on here, all we can do is give you the facts. And that is the factual evidence that these executive orders, Joe Biden's re-signed them, or whoever's playing Joe at the moment, I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm not privy to anything like that. But I am privy to a little bit, you know what I mean? And, yeah, the show's a hard show to win, guys, all right? And they are going to somehow or other, people are saying, no, we won't get the election because of 2020. No, we don't get the election. It's because of the deep state, guys. All right, nothing more. Okay, the deep state. All right, because they can't have Trump win this. You can see what they're doing already. You know, they're trying to steal as much as they can. So yeah, some very, very interesting stuff about to go on over in the States, guys. You know, I'll be keeping my eye on it. It's interesting.
very good. All right, was that the wrap up, Dave? Because we're going out. We've got In God We Trust taking us out.
Yeah, well, the wrap up is it's just another week in the front line, guys. All right, and yeah, we have been under a type of global martial law in a way, I do believe. Okay, but you know the deep state's ignoring that. You know, they're causing havoc wherever they want to cause it, guys, at this present time. All right, as I said, you know, with all these places that are flooding around the world and what's going on. All right, you know, we haven't pulled anything up yet. We pulled them up in a lot of areas, I think. And what we've more done than pulled them up is actually exposed them. All right. And they can't stop because they're habitual. So, you know, the more we expose them, the more they're getting exposed. So, you know, I do believe the middle rung's not there, and the bottom rung and the top rung are being left for public humiliation, public whatever. You know, but there's still some people floating around out there that are who I believe that they're supposed to be. You know what I mean? But they're all going down now. Look at Hollywood. Look at the music industry. You know, Oprah. It's all happening, guys. It's all happening. So, yeah, have faith. And the best thing you can do, if you haven't picked a side out there, guys, or you're new to the show or whatever, you know, this is a show where we believe that what we are seeing in the world today is a fight, big good versus evil. It's God and the devil. We're involved in the middle, guys. All right. So don't be in the middle. All right. Be on God's side. Get off the fence and let's get moving. All right. Good night, guys.
Good night, guys. Good night.
Woe unto those who spread and cheer a chasm among their brethren dear. Can you not see the beam in thine own eye before casting judgment from on high? In God we trust, let this be our creed, to build bridges not walls, to plant love seed, for in the embrace of unity we find the strength to coexist, you see. Instead of seeking peace, you summon strife. You revel in chaos, you crave the fight. But there is but one race, the human race. And in unity's light lies our true might. In God we trust, let this be our creed, to build bridges not walls, to plant love seed, for in the embrace of unity we us lay down our arms, our words of war, and seek the path of peace once more. For every soul, a brother, a sister, in the grand tapestry of life, we are all but one. You serve the schemes of those who profit from discord, from turmoil, from endless pain. But united we stand, divided we fall. In unity we shatter the chain. In God we trust, let this be our creed. To build bridges, not walls, to plant love seed. For in the embrace of unity we find the strength to coexist, you see. You see. Guardian angels watch from above, guiding us with the wings of love. They whisper peace into our hearts and show us how to mend the parts. In God we trust, let this be our creed. To build bridges, not walls, to plant love seed. For in the embrace of unity we find the strength to coexist, you see. You see. Together let us heal the wounds of a world torn by needless feuds. For in the light of love's embrace we find our true and sacred